My name is Jabot Nasiri, and I'm a professor of operations management here at Desautels, and also the director of Sustainable Growth Initiative, SGI, and together with MCCHE, that Laurette is heading, we have planned this roundtable. Without a doubt, food supply chains pose a very important challenge to the sustainability in the economy, especially in Canada, and we are very happy to put together this event in order to explore the challenges and opportunities in that area.
Well, what enterprise are doing, what value chain, what industry are all need to evolve in some agile but yet synergetic way to reach the change that are needed.
So as Laurette mentioned, we go through an ecosystem approach. So we've got enterprises, we've got hundreds of clients, they've got enterprises, and they ask us how they can advance sustainable development. The first thing we tell them is they need to look at their business from a value chain perspective, because the issues, many of our clients, which are big brands, big companies, are just at that interface with consumers, and they need to understand what's happening in their value chain. A lot of our clients have their Scope 3 emissions are of the order of 90-95%. So that means that whatever they buy, that's where the carbon footprint is coming. And then they need to look into the value chain, because into the value chain you've got the clients, you've got the supply, you've got the entire value chain of your products, and that's where a lot of waste happens, misusage of products, where a lot of inefficiency comes from. But the heart of sustainability is in sustainable finance, the taxonomy, and corporate sustainability reporting. Why is sustainable reporting so important? Because there's on the other side another piece of legislation which is around sustainable finance, which looks into taxonomy. So the banking sector will look at those sustainability reports, and from there they will understand the companies that do sustainable development versus the one that do more or less, right? And the taxonomy is the criteria to establish if an investment is sustainable from a CapEx perspective, OpEx perspective, or turnaround perspective. But as you expand your ecosystem, as you look at your business from those bubble perspective, as Laurette also showed us, and you take into account all of your stakeholders, you discover that you miss 80-90% of the data to advance a sustainability enterprise, to survive all the changes that will come in the future. Digital technology is used as an innovation tool, but in the future, it will be used for sustainability reasons. It will become a mean to make supply chains more sustainable, more robust, and more resilient, okay? So to accompany the clients, it requires a process, right? Think about this. This looks like the easy part, but it's a complicated part, because you have to accompany your stakeholders in this journey. The agri-food sector is a very complex ecosystem. You really need to get out of this silo syndrome, right? The enemy of an ecosystem is the silo thinking, and most of us are organized in silos, right? Most organizations. So forget about the silos. You need to put all of the stakeholders together, the value chains together. The nice thing today is that we can rethink the way we do things because we've got technology. This is just a TCS, but you will hear other companies call it different. We have Terra, and it looks into all the issues that are relevant to this food industry.
So how can we build an ecosystem where even the smaller ones are equipped for sustainability? Because the small enterprises are what create the fabrics of community and so on. What are your thoughts on this?
So I think the only way for small or medium-sized enterprise is to start putting them together in the ecosystem, and for them to develop their new business model according to the limits of emissions or energy cost or material cost.
Really overall is we provide strategy services to help clients assess and confront sustainability challenges. We provide also implementation and optimization services that supports insight-driven management decisions. We help clients obtain and allocate funding to advance their sustainability journey. Last but not least, we also help them account for and communicate results responsibly with confidence. Whether we leverage nature-based solutions or technology solutions, this is really where collision and change disruption happens.
I'm fixated of helping the small and medium enterprise finding a way to go beyond the consultancy just for the large-scale player. What are your thoughts there?
Forming those collaborations with different sizes of companies. With climate change, competition won't get us anywhere. It is with collaboration. So we do bring people together, and this is some of the power that big companies like ours have, right? Is to convene people to the table and have these discussions to help one another.
Saskatoon is a major science and technology hub with all the partners being here from ASC to NRC, university colleges, from AgWest Bio to SRC, GAM. So at Agri-Food Centre, we have several programs in driving agri-food utilization and servicing from women-owned companies and agri-food entrepreneurship to product development and a new area of sustainability.
Since we are talking about sustainability, let's take a digital agriculture. So the broad challenge is how do we design this intelligent cyber infrastructure? So the broad idea here is that to design this national infrastructure, you saw like that enables AI at the flick of a switch. So there are these two fundamental components. One is to democratize AI and also to integrate plug and play. Of course, our goal is to really make these releases of the software, cyber infrastructure components, so that people start using those and we get feedback and then we get the momentum. So that is the kind of the very broad picture.
How can we assemble cyber infrastructure, right? So that we could address, perhaps food security, but also really look at how to, enhance digital agriculture, or rather enhance agriculture through digital technologies. So digital agriculture does want, a national. It requires a national cyber infrastructure that it does need it, but we would like to tailor, tailor Icicle to meet the needs.
The challenge is that it stretches the supply chain. It creates significant challenges in terms of carbon footprint and environmental impact. How do we fix it? There was one question that arose here. One of the ways to fix it, obviously, through pricing. If we can get the price right, a lot of this problem can be solved. How we produce not only depends on the soil quality, not only depends on the rain that we're having, but also how businesses are sort of monetizing those production. Food system, whether we like it or not, it actually contributes a lot in terms of carbon footprint. One area we have been working quite a bit, Laurette and I, is in this idea of Canadian Sustainable Food Index. One of the challenges we found in that case is the data is really unreliable in terms of carbon footprint of agriculture. And we need to fix it. And a lot of this work DK and your team is doing will be really helpful in terms of using remote sensing and other technology to figure out what is the actual carbon footprint of agriculture.
Definitely, technology plays a critical role in managing these processes. But everyone actually also mentioned this, but I want to emphasize a bit more that it's important not to overlook the human factors as well. The key challenge sometimes arises from the human side of the story. So these systems definitely they're amazing at the technical level. But at the end of the day, it is extremely essential to consider people who will be using these systems, including their skills, their knowledge, and sometimes their attitudes to these systems. Prioritizing both technology and human factors, I would say data become much more successful in producing reliable and valuable insights. Actually, we have additional challenges that data is coming from multiple sources, so that needs to be also automated and clean as well. And also, in addition to this, data security is undoubtedly one of the critical challenges in this world, especially when it comes to food and food systems. We have to kind of a bit more innovative in terms of addressing those data security challenges. Some of the things that DK actually mentioned would be quite interesting. And
One of the main discussions on the table today had to do with the whole person in ecosystem perspective. So when we discuss that and how it underlies precision conversion, can you just discuss how it enables the climate movement?
So here we are trying to really bring very people from all different expertise, and then trying to really come up with solutions, okay, which a single person cannot solve. We need to really make sure that we bring the right expertise of the people, and then with innovative solution we should be able to solve this problem, and that's what precisely happened in the last few hours.
What are the key challenges and possibilities you see in decarbonization according to the scale and timelines that are posed to the movement today?
I would say that the key challenges to decarbonization is actually having the data and being able to prioritize the areas where we can act quickly and go for the low-hanging fruit first, and then increase the level of mitigation as the level of difficulty to decarbonize increases.
Could you just discuss how your contributions have supported impacting the climate change movements?
Our impact is around creating that trust and creating the business integration and the system integration required to advance these ecosystems. So our advancement or our contribution revolves around thought leadership and providing the elements of this business integration, and then the technological solutions to implement.
I really appreciate our keynote speakers and also the panelists and also the attendants to have shared their viewpoints on the very important challenges on food supply chains and the few ideas that we can explore in order to address them. I really appreciate your presence, and I'm looking forward to more collaboration moving forward. Thanks.